A reading journey into the depths of existence with Clézio's The Interrogation. Beyond the threshold of knowledge and cultivation, a reading journey into the depths of existence with Clézio's The Interrogation. Dear readers, have you ever hesitated before the word book? Have you ever thought, I don't have much affinity for books, I hate difficult books, or I just can't grasp what it's about, and thus distanced yourself from books? Or perhaps you've felt overwhelmed, wondering what to read and how to comprehend it amidst the rapid pace of the world and the flood of information. Today, I would like to recommend to you an exceptional book that transcends simple knowledge acquisition, offering a new way of viewing ourselves and the world. This is J.M.G. Clézio's first novel, The Interrogation, Le Procès-verbal. Though it may initially appear challenging and unfamiliar, it beautifully captures emotions, questions, and confusions many of us have felt at some point in life, gently touching the depths of the reader's heart. I sincerely hope readers who feel their knowledge or cultivation is inadequate can also take this opportunity to ponder the questions the interrogation raises and open a new door to thought. 1. J.M.G. Clézio. Who is he? Before delving into the interrogation, it is helpful to briefly introduce the author, Clézio. A French writer active from the mid-20th century until now, Clézio has built a unique literary world. He critically examines the violence and inhumanity of modern civilization, focusing on themes such as communication with nature, the lives of marginalized and displaced individuals, and the exploration of the primitive and essential aspects of human existence. His writing is concise yet poetic, filled with vivid imagery and philosophical insights that deeply resonate with readers. The Interrogation, Clézio's debut novel written at about 20 years old, shocked the French literary world upon its publication and earned him the prestigious Renaudot Prize. This work captured the attention of contemporary intellectuals and already contained the essential themes and literary characteristics that would define Clézio's lifelong body of work. As the first novel of a Nobel laureate in literature, it highlights how significant a starting point this book is in his literary journey. 2. The Interrogation, a testimony of existence or indictment. The Interrogation does not follow a conventional plot or dramatic narrative structure that readers often expect from a novel. Instead, it focuses on the inner world of a young man and his perceptions of the world, described with meticulous detail and at times with intense emotion. The protagonist is a young man named Adam Pollo, who withdraws to a dilapidated seaside cottage after completing his military service, seeking to build his own world. Adam does not perform special tasks or meet new people there. His day is filled solely with observation and thought. He keenly receives external noises, city sounds, the scent of the wind, the movement of people, the cries of gulls, and even the breeze that brushes past him as messages. He constantly draws these sensory stimuli into his inner world, deconstructing and reconstructing them, searching for meaning. Adam's observations are not mere glances. They resemble an act of writing an interrogation. An interrogation is an official document recording facts about an event or situation. Like a witness in court, or akin to a defendant, Adam attempts to prove his existence through this interrogation. He is both an accuser exposing artificial social orders, consumerism, and meaningless daily routines of modern society, and a defendant wandering without a place in that same society. The novel follows the flow of Adam's consciousness. His thoughts move freely without logical connections, often filled with surreal and hallucinatory images. He ponders the limits of language, questions the illusions created by human rationality, and struggles to search for the meaning of essential existence. The city appears as a constantly changing monstrous entity to him, while people seem to be creatures repeating a meaningless life behind masks. Adam's inner world is chaotic and unstable. He isolates himself from society yet cannot fully escape it. The outside world continuously invades his inner space, leaving him helpless and shaken. His actions occasionally seem bizarre, collecting and observing old objects, aimlessly wandering the streets, even scribbling on walls, departing from societal norms. Eventually, Adam's behavior attracts suspicion and discomfort from others. Labeled as abnormal, he is eventually hospitalized. In this state of isolation within the psychiatric facility, he further immerses himself in introspection. Ironically, this separation offers him the chance to view himself and the world with a clearer perspective. He realizes that his confusion and suffering are not purely personal but reflect the universal alienation and helplessness experienced by individuals in modern society. Ultimately, the interrogation captures profound contemplation of the shadows of modern civilization, human alienation, and the essence of existence through the character of Adam Pollo. It is not merely an interrogation of a specific event, but an interrogation of human existence itself, and a severe indictment of modern society. 3. The message of the interrogation. Why read this book now? Now arises an important question: why should we read this book that is difficult to understand and whose protagonist appears socially maladjusted? What meaning can it hold for us who may feel distant from knowledge or cultivation? The interrogation presents profound questions about the essence of life and offers significant insights for understanding the world anew. Questioning the boundaries of normal and abnormal. Adam Pollo is a figure who deviates from society's notion of a normal life. He has no job, family, or meaningful social relationships. He merely observes the world and himself. Though labeled as mentally ill, one must question whether our so-called normal society is truly normal. Is a life obsessed with meaningless consumption, endless competition, and the destruction of nature genuinely normal? The interrogation challenges us to doubt society's definition of normality and to ask what true normality might be. Through Adam's gaze, we may discover the abnormality of modern society within what is perceived as abnormal. B. The universal experience of alienation and solitude. Adam Pollo suffers intense alienation and loneliness, feelings many in modern society experience, though perhaps without realizing it. This is an era where we are paradoxically more connected and yet more lonely. The interrogation illustrates how alienation and solitude are not merely personal but are universal emotions in modern civilization. Through Adam's pain, we can recognize the loneliness and anxieties hidden within ourselves, taking the first step to understand and accept them. The book offers comfort that we are not alone, while also giving us time to reflect on ourselves amidst this solitude. C. Rediscovering the senses and gaining a new understanding of the world. Our lives are saturated with information and visual stimuli, often limiting our ability to experience the world through our five senses. However, Adam Pollo observes the world closely: raindrops, spots on walls, movements of leaves, and meaningless conversations from strangers, and finds meaning. The interrogation revives our forgotten senses and teaches us to observe the world more deeply and sensitively. Adam's perspective helps us recognize the richness of meaning hidden in everyday, ordinary things. This is an essential step in broadening our understanding of the world. D. Exploring the limits of language and the essence of existence. Adam Pollo wrestles with the limitations of language in capturing reality. While language names and classifies objects, it may also diminish and distort their essential vitality and complexity. The interrogation encourages us to recognize these limits and seek the essence beyond language. It compels us to question how we understand the world and express ourselves. The book leads us to explore fundamental questions such as who am I, and what do I feel? In an intuitive and sensory way beyond the constraints of language. E. A critical perspective on modern civilization. Through the interrogation, Clézio critically examines consumerism, materialism, and human alienation in modern society. In Adam's eyes, the city is a space of chaos and meaninglessness, where people are beings consumed by purposeless competition and consumption. The book challenges us to reconsider whether the values of modern civilization we passively accept truly bring happiness and meaning. It also prompts us to reflect on social issues such as environmental problems and urbanization. This highlights that cultivation is not merely acquiring knowledge but critically observing the world and contemplating a better path forward. 4. How should one read the interrogation? We've explored the questions and meanings the interrogation presents. Yet, you may still feel it's difficult to comprehend. That's true, it is not an easy novel. However, there's no need to feel intimidated. Here are some tips for reading it. First, don't get bogged down by the plot. This book is not a novel that follows a specific event. Focus instead on Adam Poyo's thoughts, feelings, and the way he perceives the world. Approach it like reading a long poem or appreciating a painting, visually and intuitively. Second, don't try to understand everything. Some of Clézio's sentences are complex and metaphorical. Striving for a complete understanding of each sentence may exhaust you. Instead, pay attention to the atmosphere or sensations you feel from each paragraph or sentence. Whether an image arises or a feeling is stirred, simply following these impressions is enough. Third, read slowly and at your own pace. The faster you read, the more difficult it may feel. Set aside a quiet, undisturbed time and give yourself the space to connect Adam's thoughts with your own. Even pausing to close your eyes and savor the lingering impression of a passage is a good approach. Fourth, link it to your personal experiences. Adam Poyo's extreme loneliness and alienation may seem distant from your own experiences. Yet, we all sometimes feel lonely and unable to understand the world around us. Even if you cannot fully empathize with Adam's feelings, connect his sense of strangeness, anxiety, and doubt to your own experiences and emotions. Fifth, don't fear rereading. Sections that felt difficult the first time may appear entirely different on second or third readings. Don't expect to gain everything in one go. Gradually absorbing the messages over multiple readings is a valuable way to engage with the book. 5. Reading the most certain path to expanding the horizon of existence. Dear readers, knowledge and cultivation are not merely about memorizing what we learned in school or reading many books. True knowledge and cultivation arise from deeply understanding the world, reflecting on oneself, and seeking better ways of life. Sometimes, these abilities can be nurtured through challenging, unconventional books like The Interrogation. The Interrogation may not immediately offer you pleasure or clear answers. However, it will knock on the tightly closed door of your inner self, prompt you to view the familiar world through a new lens, and raise fundamental questions: who am I, and how should I live? The process of seeking answers to these questions is itself the most precious knowledge and the deepest cultivation. Clézio's The Interrogation holds up a mirror to us, urging us to reflect on ourselves within its reflection. How about taking a courageous reading journey together, pausing amidst the noise and chaos of modern society, posing questions to yourself and the world, and seeking new meanings through those questions? I sincerely hope this encounter with the book becomes a valuable, enriching experience that deepens your life and worldview. Books can be the sharpest of weapons, the warmest of comforts, or the most incisive of questions. The Interrogation is a book that carries all of these.